Bismillah and welcome to another episode with The Bridge. And today I have a young brother, older brother actually. He's a big man now actually. Even though his name is Tiny Boost. Yeah, he's a big man. And alhamdulillah, we're going to get straight into it. I've never met the person, but I've heard much good things about you, Akhi. So we want to go straight into it and go into your young ages, bro. Like, how did you get to who you are today? Tell us the beginning. Did you come here? Was you born here from the beginning? Everything.
Like my parents, like
yeah, just the beginning, young ages, everything like that.
Oh yeah, my mum and my dad is obviously they're from. Well, actually, my dad. I'm Guyanese.
Okay.
Yeah, and my dad's Guyanese and my mum's from a small island called Saint Kitts.
Okay, where's that? I don't know.
In Caribbean.
Okay.
So Guyana's. It's confusing because Guyana's technically on top of Brazil. It's like technically South America. But for some reason, it's the only English-speaking country in South America. They just speak English.
Okay.
But obviously, where they're, I don't know if it's colonized or whatever, they're just a part of the Caribbean. So, they speak English, but like a form of patois, like whatever, like how
similar to Jamaica and all them areas.
Yeah. So when we was young, where you from? I just say I'm Jamaican.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
Okay.
You know, like everyone's like you can't really separate.
No,
they don't really know. Obviously now it's a bit different, but yeah. And obviously my mom's from St. Kitts, so similar thing.
And was they born here or did they travel?
Yeah, my pops wasn't born here. My pops was born back in Guyana, and my mum was born here though. But obviously my grandparents on my mum's side come over here, had my mum and her siblings. And my dad came over with my grandma at the time. So, yeah. So, my dad's first generation and my mum is technically second generation.
And born in Peckham?
Nah, I think my dad originally from West, like Grove sides, you know what I'm saying? And my mum and them is originally like Croydon sides, you feel me? But my dad was like in a sound, and so like if you know what a sound is like in Carnival where they have the floats, there's a sound, like a certain sound, there's famous sounds. So my dad was like a sound and a part of that. That's like early, probably like, not early, maybe like late 70s, early 80s or something like that, you know what I mean? So yeah, and then, mum's met dad and I'm number 4 out of 5.
Okay, so just the last of the youngest ones kind of things.
Yeah.
There's one younger than you.
Yeah, I got one younger than me.
Okay, and so you lot was born and raised in Peckham then?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Peckham, yeah.
The ones before you was raised somewhere else?
Nah, all of us was raised in the same area, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So again, young ages then, you went to what school?
What, primary or something?
Yeah, primary.
Primary, I went Brunswick Park. That's the school in Camberwell.
Okay.
Just behind Brunswick Park, basically, if you know what that is. Camberwell, like next to the, like a couple rows away from Camberwell Court, you know?
And was you living in Peckham or?
Well, I grew up on the, it's like a borderline. I grew up on Southampton Wing.
Okay, yeah.
So, but, like literally depending on what way you turn.
You're this side,
this side, that side.
Yeah.
When you're from Peckham, it was all Peckham, innit? At that time, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's why I was born and raised, you know what I mean? And, like, it was, like, at that time, it was just cool, innit? You know what I mean? It was just, it wasn't really...
And what kind of kid was you? The class clown, the
you know what? I was like, I always kind of knew, like, I never wanted to be dumb, you know what I was like? I wasn't them kids that didn't care about...
Knowledge,
like, I wasn't one of them kids that was like, I don't want to learn, like, you get what I'm trying to say? I wanted to learn, but I wanted to always kind of be, like, in the in crowd as well, you know what I mean? But, like, yeah, that was it. So I was best of both worlds at that time, you know? And I wasn't really like a naughty kid, like I wasn't one of them kids that got suspended in primary. You know, you get them bad kids like primary school.
Yeah, disruptive.
Yeah, like I didn't really. Yeah, I don't think I got suspended in primary school once or nothing like that. I was, it was cool, like, you know what I mean?
Would you say that was due? So we didn't ask, but mum and dad, was they together in your house at that time?
Nah, not really.
There wasn't. So
Well,
you wasn't
in the
raised with
early-
mum
in
and
the
dad
early-
together?
But I just come from like, you know, like I didn't, like obviously I don't come from like rich people or nothing like that, but I just come from decent people, innit?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So your household was
yeah, it
balanced.
was just manners. Like it weren't like, you know what I'm saying? It weren't like, it was just, I don't know. We was just decent. Like I was just a decent kid. I weren't really too crazy. You feel what I'm saying? And obviously, you know, like parents split and whatnot, and them time there I wasn't allowed off the estate. You know, I'm trying to say that I was living at the time. You know. So that was a bit, I didn't really have much influence other than my older brother and them, they have friends. Yeah, my older brothers, they're good youths though, they weren't really. But at the same time, they hadn't always knew the guy, like, you know what I'm saying, the rude boys or whatever you want to call it. So maybe just being around, because my mum used to work, you know what I'm saying, just being raised by like my older brother, my older sister, that is how my mind kind of got advanced early. Maybe not just necessarily into badness, but just on life. Like, my brother's bedroom, like my mum was like my mum's house was like an orphanage, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone comes there kind of thing.
If you got kicked out and you're my friend, and I told my mum, my friend's been kicked out, she'll let them stay. For weeks, like, it doesn't matter. Like, she's not really asking too much questions. It's cool, she got on pattern, you know what I'm saying? So, just from that, just couple of my older brother's friends got kicked out, they're staying. My older sister's friends getting kicked out, they're staying. Or they're always here. So, you know, or like mums is at work. You know, I'm watching my older brothers and that, and my sister, like, you know, like, be self-sufficient. Because mum said, look, I'm going to work. You have to cook for your little brothers and that. And so you just kind of learn, like, you know, 1, 2, fry up 1, 2 egg, and
you're good
you get what I'm trying to say? You're good to go. So you just learn little things. But the only, what's it called? Like, I wouldn't say negative, but negative side to that is when they're doing things like that, their age is supposed to be doing.
Advanced for you.
Advanced for me, technically. I'm seeing that. And you can't really tell me, because you're technically not supposed to be doing this either. So let's just say, I remember like, you remember pirate DVD, not DVDs, pirate tapes. I remember, I don't know where it came from, but you know, we got Scary Movie, Boys in the Hood, like, so mum's gone out, they're gonna put that on, like.
And you're there watching it.
And I'm watching it, and sometimes they'll be like, oh, cover your eyes or come out, but I'm like, I'm not gonna snitch on you, but like, it's like, you're not mum, you're not dad, you can't really tell me not to be in the room, so we're gonna have to come to a compromise, like, you know what I'm saying? So they used to basically.
And these are your older brothers, yeah?
Yeah, but I never used to like, I can't really remember too far back, but I just remember it weren't like I was being smart, like, well, if you don't let me, I'm gonna tell mum. But they was just like, just let him in. Yeah, what's the worst? Like happens. So.
Just on that point, in terms of whether older siblings or parents, or parents' friends maybe, or uncles or aunts.
It's important.
Yeah, not just from the angle of anybody that was a Muslim that you came across.
Oh no! At this time here, I didn't know nothing about. I didn't know. I had no idea about
Islam or even Christianity, maybe.
Who?
What about Christianity?
Oh yeah. No, but because that come later because my mum only got into that. Obviously, naturally on a Sunday, I used to go to my grandma's on that and go to Fulton Heath. There's a church called Parchmore on Parchmore Road, wherever it is, I can't remember. But that was just like protocol. Like that weren't. It's not like we used to go home on Monday and mum would be like, "Have you read your Bible?" You get what I'm saying? Just on a Sunday, it's like a family thing. We go to grandma's Sundays, everyone goes to church. That's just how it be. You know what I'm saying? So. But, so at that time there, I think I would say I just kind of, like, I didn't know the difference between a Hindu and a Muslim. Because at that time there, I just thought, I probably didn't even know there was black Muslims. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I just thought it was like a Asian thing. So I couldn't differentiate like, oh, that's a Hindu, that's a Sikh, or that's I just know they're on something that currently I'm not on. Yeah. No one around me is on that. Like, no one in my family, I should say, is on. So, that was later. So,
So from school then, you say in primary school, you wasn't that type of person. You was kind of balanced. You didn't get kicked out.
I knew about the life. What you talking about, like streets and stuff?
So you wasn't in the streets yet?
No, I wasn't in the streets yet. Like, not year 3 and that. But what it was as well, how I ended up getting so much like freedom is because basically my older brother and that, they used to be very like hands-on because they had to be, because my mum was there and my dad was there. But when my mum and dad are split now, my mum has to start working. She ain't worked before, really and truly. So she started working, and you know, she's like, she can't pick me up from school because she's at work. So she telling my older brothers and them to pick up me from primary school. But they're in secondary school at the time. So as you know, if your school finishes at 3:20 as a secondary school, how long you hang outside school for? Maybe no less than half an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, of course.
I'm in primary school. Everyone's going home. I was there like, oh, when these brothers coming to get, you know what I'm trying to say? It used to get a bit emotional, like, you know what I'm saying? So I told my mum, like, yo, like, they always coming late, you know what I'm trying to say? So I was like, you know what? You don't live too far. I'm going to get you a door key. Like, or just, you know, your mum trying to be she knows what she's doing as a man thing, really, but there's no choice. She's like, just when you leave school, just go straight, walk straight, don't talk to nobody, just go straight in the house and get in the house. Yeah. But that door key was the beginning of the end, you know what I'm trying to say? Because
that freedom.
It's freedom, you know what I mean? So that was like year 3, year 4.
So year 3, year 4, what's that? 8, 9?
Yeah. So I used to walk home from school. But I didn't abuse it then. And then when I got to about year 5, year 6, my older brother's brethren that he knew from school, that they used to be in the house, they started, what's the word? They used to, like, obviously I'm like the little bro, you know what I'm saying? So they used to be like, we're going to take him youth club and don't worry, mum, like I say to my mum,
we'll look after him, kind of thing.
We'll look after him, we just come in youth club, And then I got to a youth club on Owlsbury. This is the real Owlsbury, like estate, before they knocked it down. This is, to me, when I look back at it now, it look like projects to me. Like, this is the real, like, greasy, grimy, like, this is the first time. Obviously, my estate was bad, but it weren't too...
entrenched like that?
Yeah, it weren't trenched like that. You know, it was just, my estate's one of them cut through. No one chills here, no one really lives here. It's just an estate. Man, them used to cut through and people used to cut through. So, when I got to Owlsbury now, I felt like I got on a holiday. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, what is, like, you know, you're seeing...
The Bronx.
You're seeing Bear, like, I was in year 6 at the time. I was like year 6. So these lot was, my brother's 5 years older than me, or 6 years older than me. So these lot are in like year 11, basically, or first year of college, if that makes sense. So I'm seeing anything from 16 to maybe 18 down to basically my age, like 11 12. Or 12, you know what I'm saying? And you know, it gets like, that was, you know, I'm seeing man gambling pound up, you know, like I'm seeing man, you know, you might bust one quarter on the state, a man's in the corner with a girl, and you know, like there's bare girl, and it's like an episode of EastEnders, like there's bare passer going, oh, my man's linking that girl, and that man, you're thinking, raw, like, a lot's going on, you know what I'm trying to, then you start hearing about the streets and all like that, you know what I mean? Like, man, I'm saying, you might see a man like, oh, that's so-and-so and so, or you're just hearing names and, you know, and then the names get put to the faces. We was in a youth club called Amersham at the time, innit? Anyone from the ends, from a certain age, will know, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that was my introduction to the streets, if you want to call it. If you want to call it like that. Even though I wasn't really keeping up with nothing, but that's what I kind of was like,
this was about.
This was about. Like,
and it's exciting at that age.
11 years old, 11 years old, 10 years
11, 11, I wouldn't say 10, but definitely 11, 12. Well, that basically, that transition from that summer holiday or that time from year 6 to year 7, that's when, you feel me?
And still nothing about coming across Muslims.
Nah, I ain't seen no deen yet. I ain't seen no... I probably went to a mosque for like a school trip, but you know where it's so like, it's not getting explained to you like that. It's like, you know...
Sightseeing.
You feel me? Like, you know, you're seeing shoes in the shoe rack. It's like, what's going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't interested.
Yeah.
Well, not that I wasn't interested, but I didn't get it. Like, I didn't think it was for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm trying to say? I never thought like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how I started on and then obviously I met a couple friends from there, from Owlsbury and whatnot. And you know, then that's when I'm going there by myself now, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need them man there.
So you finished your primary school. Which secondary school did you go to?
Yeah, I went Michael Ramsey, Camberwell New Road, Wyndham Road. That was basically that's crazy because it was opposite basically Brixton. So obviously on Camberwell New Road, there's several schools. You know, you had Sacred Heart, you had a girls' school, Charter Brook, they had Ramsey. Then at the top, when you go to Oval, you got Tennyson's. Then you go a bit down Kennet and you got, I think, Lillian Bailey's. You see what I'm dealing with. And my school, though, was basically opposite Vassal Road. And if you know where Vassal Road is, you go up Vassal Road, you do a left, you're at Mites Road. You see what I'm saying? So, but at the start, that didn't really matter. You know what I mean? But
you say it in a negative or a positive way?
What do you mean?
Micefield, Brixton, that's Brixton now.
No, it's because...
That's in the future.
Yeah, in the future. But when you look at it now, it's like... It was inevitable that...
It was going to collide.
That, yeah, things was going to collide. Like, well, not inevitable, but... Like, you know, you're going to have a mixture of people coming from... That school's like a hub, isn't it? The way I look at it. Because you have people coming from Wandsworth, Stockwell, Brixton, Peckham, Camberwell, Woolworth Road, like, all, you know what I mean? In one. So that is basically, once I started the school now, you know, like, that's just when it all goes crazy because, like I'm saying, you're meeting man from Brixton. And if you know, like, your history, Brixton, for, like, black people, is one of the founding areas of black people. And, well, Jamaica's and Caribbean's, what's the word? Predominantly. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not gonna lie, when I started meeting, like, Brixton youths, they was kind of them bad youths. Like, they was kind of the naughty kids to me. Because, you know, their upbringing over there from where they're coming from is a bit more, you know what I'm trying to say, is a bit more reckless, whereas in, like, Peckham, there's a lot of Africans. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So Africans don't really have... They might have it now, is what we're seeing now, like these kind of, like, you know, that the Afrobeat kind of, you know, the dreads and the dye. That wasn't... Yeah, back then. That wasn't like that back then.
Remember that was a discussion before. I was saying there seemed to be like an African Caribbean split between Peckham and Brixton.
But so... Reading, like, if you know the history of this country, yeah, like I'm saying, this is why this is important, because the streets, yeah, and even how we talk is based on Jamaicans, like the roads, like everything. If they never came to this country, yeah, we would have adopted what they kept up with.
Yeah, or this type of gang.
This type of
that gang that we have today. Yeah, 100%.
That we have today. It's like... It's come from that. It's not It's not that we don't really have African slang. Well, obviously now it's different because, you know, it's fun or whatever. But badness in this country, like, when it comes to black people, in my opinion, is learnt from what you would say, like, yardies, because they're the first. Because a lot of them either go, you know, America, Canada, or they come here. So the ones that's obviously got America, plus what they're already keeping up with the political party wars that was going on back then. They've obviously learned the drug trade from America. Drugs in the 80s, crack epidemic in America is not the same as over here. That's why their things now is so crazy. So I say all that to say this. So kids from Brixton are obviously gonna have like an uncle or an auntie or a dad or a mum or, you know what I'm trying to say?
That's already in the game.
That's already in the game. You know what I'm trying to say?
On that, I think because of the environment we're in, which is South London.
Yeah.
But remember, other ends, other areas, other towns, it's like other ethnicities. It might be white people.
Of course.
And sometimes at top of the game, it might be somebody that is kind of like Caucasian that is really
No.
right.
Obviously, what I'm not saying it's just us. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that for black juice, right? That is where it comes from. Like, obviously, you're gonna have the remember like the East End like kind of guys or whatever, you know. But it was
For the South, you mean?
for the like. No, I don't. It's hard because remember, black people only been here since the 50s.
In London, you're talking about more.
Like, to me, like when we came, we only come over here in the 50s. So there was no black people here before that. Like, you wasn't here. You know what I'm trying to say? So to me, that is where it all stems from. That Windrush, that whole thing, Brixton, Birmingham. If you clock Northwest, Harlesden, if you go back in time and you check who was doing this thing like that, it was
those areas.
And that was full of Jamaicans and you get me, and the Shutters and rare.
Just a side point, Akhi, though. So do you see the African Caribbean kind of like, not problem, what's the word? The confrontation.
Well, because obviously Africans came later.
Yeah. Don't you see it as a negative though?
Did I say what, them having conflict?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it's a negative because we're all from where we're from, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? So, but that's a whole nother subject, you know what I mean? But
I think secondary school.
Yeah, so secondary school. No, but the point where I was getting at was like that's what I'm saying, a lot of Brixton was already, some of them was smoking, some of them was, my older brothers this or obviously we had man them from the ends as well, like, but I just noticed that. I just noticed a lot of the youths that was more, like, I wouldn't even say they was like,
You saying basically they're more seasoned?
Yeah, like, to me. You know what I'm trying to say?
So you're in year 7, 8. And
yeah, year 7, like people.
Another year 7.
Obviously, I'm in the end. Yeah, another year 7. To me, the youths that was the most naughty, like, or as they would say, they was more the Brixtons in the school. Like, we was like, don't get me wrong, people on Peckham was naughty and rare, but it's like.
You get it. Bricky youths listen to this going to get upset with us.
Nah, but it's real.
It is what it is. It's like someone doing knockdown ginger thinking they're bad, but then someone else is doing robbery down. That's their badness.
like you know, like do you get what I mean? Like trust me, like I'm telling you, like, you know what I mean? So
that's what you sense from year 7.
Yeah, obviously, like, but yeah, in my school, that's just how it was. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what I'm saying. So anyway, cut a long story short, you know, when you're in year 7, it's just mayhem, innit? Like, it's just.
But was it mayhem because you already signed up to that life now? In your mind, you already kind of signed up to I'm a Peckham youth.
No, but I wasn't at the time. At this time, I wasn't. I wasn't repping. Like, I used to like fake rep, if that makes sense. Like, I'm gonna claim it, but I wasn't one of them guys. Like, I just knew
the people,
and I know who's who, and you know, classroom arguments. Well, I don't know about this one. And this one said, well, you know what I mean? So it weren't really in me like that, but I've already claimed the area. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
What about education side? How were you doing?
Yeah, same thing. I was still on getting grades. Like, I still thought, like, I never wanted to be that guy in the class that read the page and you're stuttering. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to, like, I still knew, I didn't think being smart, it's crazy, I didn't think being smart was like a bad thing. But I thought, if you go to revise instead of hanging out, that was sneaky. Like, I'm not going to do that. But I don't know. Like,
I'll do the minimum of what needs to be done.
Yeah, what needs to be done. I'm going to know how to spell, I'm going to know how to read, I'm going to know how to write. Like, that's it. Like, get it. But I'm not going to, like, take it serious. But I just know no one can't say, oh, he was dumb, or he couldn't read that word, or he couldn't do this. You know what I mean? I always found, like, power in that, to me, to be honest. Like, yeah, like, I didn't ever think being stupid was the...
So moving on from that, okay, I mean, my brother mentioned a story, which I mentioned to you on the phone. He's young, so he's come with his friend. They've come off the bus in some inns in Peckham, and a group of 15 youngsters have rushed towards them.
Imagine.
Sorry?
Who?
No, this brother, next brother.
Sorry.
Next brother, yeah.
Cameraman.
Yeah.
So anyway, when they rushed, apparently you've kind of like come closer to the brother and just said, stop. So everybody just stopped. And then you said,
It sounds familiar, but you know what it is? Like,
so then you said, Salaam alaikum. And he said, Wa alaikum salam.
is he Somali, bro?
No. He's
Asian, bro.
He's Egyptian.
Can he saved his life, yeah?
It sounds like it sounds familiar, you know, like, because that might have been when I first took Shahada though, but that we gotta get onto that though.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Further
saying?
down the line.
It's very far down from secondary school, so I'm assuming. Okay,
Yeah, because I took my Shahada. Well, do you want me to get?
No, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah,
So we're still in year 7.
Yeah.
You're kind of saying, all right, you're not Peckham you per se, but
Yeah,
you've kind of signed up to it in
Yeah,
essence.
so yeah, you know, just dumb stuff like, you know, you're having ends arguments, my ends
It's better than yours,
this
okay, yeah.
You know, a couple men start getting suspended at school, etc. You're having fights, not about that, but just, you know, naturally, who's the strongest in the year, and that kind of, what trainers you got, like all of that kind of materialistic stuff, you know, like it just starts to make you, you know what I'm trying to say, want to better yourself in the wrong way, if that makes sense. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you know, Scott jackets, Averets, there's all these things people, you know what I'm trying to say? Things that my mum wasn't into, you get what I'm trying to say?
You started getting into it.
I started to get a love for, you know what I mean? So.
And the older siblings, were they into that at that time?
Nah, because they were just, I don't know, like I said, they wasn't as free as me. So they was they understood my mum saying no, if that makes sense. I didn't really understand that, you get what I mean? Because
By the time you're in year 7, they're like 19, 20 now, yeah?
Nah, they was only about 16, 17.
Okay.
Maybe my older sister, my sister the oldest, she probably the oldest, at 18 at the time. So probably that, yeah, because like 18, 17, and my brother probably was 15, 16, yeah. Because when I was in year 7, the youngest brother, my oldest youngest brother, I should say, he was still in school. I was in year 7, he was in year 11.
Oh, okay.
You know what I
Same
mean?
school, yeah?
Same school. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, by the time he left, like, we wasn't really close to school, because like I said, I was kind of like a cool kid. Like, he weren't really like, he wasn't really like.
What do you mean by cool, you know?
I was in the in crowd, like I was.
Okay, in that way.
I was MCing, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just one of them guys. But yeah.
Something you mentioned, you know, in the family you can have people, same family, different
that's
choices they make.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
100%.
So,
You got the same mum and dad, you have the same upbringing.
Yeah.
But for some reason, some choose to be more legit and some
and that's what it is. But like I'm saying, I got exposed. But I know where it is though. Because when my brother and sister was coming up, like I said, my mum was hands-on with them. Whereas, not saying my mum wasn't doing her job, she did what she had to do. But I was raised technically on a day-to-day basis by my brothers and my sisters. You see what I'm trying to say? So it's just, I'm different. Like, they don't know that they're teaching me the wrong things technically. They're just letting me hang around. Like, my older brothers having parties.
Because remember, they're kids themselves.
Exactly.
So they're making mistakes
so
as
my
well.
older
They don't
brothers
know
having
better.
parties, house parties, I'm in the yard, I'm seeing, you know, man on girl dancing and bashment music. Like, this how man's growing. So I knew from then I'm gonna like girls. Like, you don't know what's there. You know what I'm trying to
that's
say?
your norm.
This is the normal. So I used to think, I can't wait till I go to my party. That's what I used to think. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
When I start my one.
Yeah, like I want to go to, like, so when someone had a party, like things like that, I remember all of that stuff. Like my first party, there was some girl in my year, she's had a party. She's like, oh yeah, you lot come. It's in Wandsworth though. Went around there. Matter of fact, I had a fight with that girl too. Yeah, that's another story. But anyway, yeah, like, so there's things like that. Started going house parties and, you know, started.
In year 7?
Yeah.
Wow.
My first, like I said, her house party, no, wait, it was her friend, but she invited us. She was in Wandsworth Road, I'll never forget. You know what I'm saying? It was like year 7. Could have all been year 8, but I'm sure it was year 7, you know? So gone house parties, you know, like you just, more house, then you start going house parties in Peckham and you get it, like, you're just meeting so much people.
What's mum's view on all this time? Like, where's she at? Or
I used to get in trouble, but I don't know how I used to do it. Like, I swear down, like, I don't know how I used to get away with this stuff. Like, I don't know, like, I just used to turn my phone. I had the key, bro.
What about Dad? Was Dad on the scene?
Nah, Dad wasn't about these times, bro. He was about, but he never used to call me or nothing like that. I just used to go to him. You know what I mean? But, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Anyway, started learning. And this is where the deen comes into it. 04, that's when I think the black brothers was Muslim. I was like, what is this? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Because like I said before, I didn't think it was for us. Them time that I'm heavy in the church. Like, but I never used to like going.
What were you in school at this time now? 2004?
2004, I'm 13, so that's about...
Year 9.
Is that year 9?
13 is like year 8.
Year 8, yeah?
Yeah.
Year 9,
so year
could be
8,
year 9 as well.
So, maybe it's 2004, but I'm on... I started in 02, so maybe it's 2004, but September 2004. So it might have been early year 9.
Okay.
You see what I'm trying to say? So yeah, 04, 05, that's when is like the epidemic of Islam come out. You know what I mean? So the funny thing is about it, obviously that kind of, once again, started in like Brixton, to me. Well, to everyone else. That was the first wave of man hearing about that. And like I said, our opposite Mansfield. Obviously, we know what they used to call it. We ain't gonna get into that, but, you know, so, and then something happened, and then everyone's saying, oh, they're telling them, like, people, you gotta turn Muslim and rare. But remember, we're living outside the area where it's technically happening. So I remember one of my good brothers, his name's Shocks Amjad, like, it used to be like, he was born Muslim, he's Sierra Leone. But this is so, we started, I was like, what? Like, you know what I mean? And he was just like, I was like, what do you say when they come? Do you know what I'm saying? Because it seems like there's some, I don't know, like them time there, you don't think of it as like, it's like something, I don't know, like.
There's a code to say if they come or something.
Like, no, but obviously I just want to know, like, what does this mean? And what does that mean? So he'd be like, well, because he's like, well, I'm good, I'm Muslim. You know what I mean? So I was like, what do you say if they come and that? And then I was like, yeah, what do you say when they say salam alaikum? Oh, you say alaikum salam. And I remember that used to go around. Everyone used to think, you know what I mean? And then at that time there, I was like, I'll never be on what they're on. I didn't even know what Shahada was. So it was just, I'll never convert. That's what people say. Yeah, he's converted, so-and-so converted. I'll never convert.
And that's that due to your ego kind of saying, like, because man, I'm following this, I'm not trying to be a follower kind of
and
thing.
I'm from Peckham, and over there, we're not doing that, and them, man, you know what I mean? So I was like, I'm never converting. Like, that's crazy, like, all these people. And it must have got to maybe, like, then the music thing started coming out, and, like, people was rapping now.
SMS,
PDC. OC, PDC, but obviously it's going around on Bluetooth. And my first time hearing this stuff was Stinks. Him and Devi had a song at the beginning. Obviously, everyone must know the song, yeah. And they're basically greeting each other on the beginning of the song. And they're doing the whole, Salam alaikum, I'm tell you about the and I remember someone playing that to me. I was like, what the hell? Like, these is man, like, you know what I'm trying to say? It was even shocking that someone, like, can talk another language. You know what I'm trying to say? And that kind of there, I was like,
sounds good, yeah.
Sounds kind of hard, but I can't remember if I expressed it back then, but I remember thinking, this is hard. This is hard.
Allahu Akbar.
Yeah. I was like, this is hard. This is hard. Like, but I was still trying to fight it because of where I'm from, and you know, I'm trying to, and the way allegedly that it was being spread. You know what I mean? So I was like, And then I think I had another DV song. Now, before I got to that song, I started cause like I said, my cousin and them from Fulton Heath, and I used to go around there. Because remember, it started spreading everywhere, like from Brixton to Fulton Heath to Streatham, and there's more southwestern.
Yeah.
I don't know about, I didn't really know what I knew obviously Lewisham and that, but I didn't know if they was
on that thing.
On that either. Like, we didn't, because I didn't go to school over there, I didn't interact with them. I used to interact with them outside of that on on a craziness. But anyway, so by the time it's like 05, now I'm kind of like, I'm with the man and I'm on what I'm on, I'm repping this, now I'm singing all that and whatever. And I remember hearing the songs and but I used to always think that's the, I don't like them man there, but I don't like the songs are hard, you know what I mean? And you get what I'm trying to say? And when I was, like I said, see my cousin and that, our cousins I used to go out Fulton Heath with, and like,
Had they become Muslims?
No, not my cousin. They was girls, to be honest. But they was like a part of like a girl group that was like a part of the boys up there.
Okay.
But to be honest, because I'm from Peckham and my neighbour's Brixton, my neighbour's Lewisham, I never used to take up there seriously. Like, I didn't we used to swing, where? I didn't even know. I was thinking, what is this place? Like, no one said this Fulton Heath train. I'm not really, because it wasn't the prominent areas like back then, But anyway, to me, it seemed like they was just like a mini Brixton, like copycat in Brixton. So when I was around there, they'll be like, the youths around there, they'll be like, Salaam alaikum, yo, we're gonna go down there. I was like, I don't know what it was. I just think, bro, this is hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I couldn't show it. You get what I'm trying to say? So
back there was a little fashion as well.
Yeah, it's fashion. Scarves, kufis, and man, I got beards, and it's just like, this is kind of. And then obviously the rumors on top of it. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into detail because it's gonna sound crazy, but I used to think, you know what I thought? To put it in a nutshell, I thought it was like a street kind of religion. Like, if that makes sense. I thought it was like a religion for a man that's on the roads. That's what I thought. Cause you get what I mean though? Like, cause I promise you, I never knew nothing about Islam at this time. I never knew nothing. So I thought it was like the mandem's religion. And I was like, but the mandem that I know to be the mandem ain't on this. So it was confusing. But then I'm hearing, if you sign up to this thing, you're gonna get a couple of things and stuff and you know what I mean? So
like
I'm thinking
gateway into
I'm thinking, get me, I'm not gonna say what, but we can figure it out. So I'm thinking, and then I heard a devious song and he was saying, inshallah, mashallah, alhamdulillah, and the way he was breaking it down and I was like, So I said to my brethren, like I said, that I was Muslim, I was like, what does that mean? I always used to ask them, what does that mean? What does that mean? They used to tell me, and I thought, nah, man, it's too sick, like, it's too heavy, like. And then I was like...
Did you have a concept at that time of God, one God, or anything like this?
No, none of that. No Tawhid, none of that. No Tawhid.
Jesus Christ, Christian belief?
All I used to know, I didn't even used to understand my old religion anyway. I just used to go to church. Church failed for me, especially, because, one, it's like protocol. I'm just getting dragged here every Sunday. Like, I used to do anything to avoid church, bro. I swear. Wallahi. Anything to avoid church, I used to do. Like, I'll go out on a Saturday, bring my friend home.
Just to avoid church.
So my mum would be like, like your friend. But she started clocking onto that. So she'll wake me up early on a Sunday and be like, tell your friend he's got to go, you got church. I'm like, bro, that started not to work. I just tell my friend, he passed away, but I used to be like, yo, like, bruv, we just got to cut together. Like, he's like, you sure? I'm saying, bruv, we got to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just do anything to avoid church, bro. Like, stay out the next Saturday night, come back when I know they've gone. You know what's there? And then, one time I went to church now. I used to go to church in Norwood, West Norwood, in that girls' school. And basically, they was doing the oil thing now. They got the oil, right? I don't want to sound funny, but they, I don't know what they call it. I think they call it being slain or something like that. That's what I want. Like, so it's one of them ones, like, the pastor has got the oil, everyone's praise and worship. It's mad. Like, now when I look back on it, I think, this is crazy. Anyway, the pastor's like taking everyone up one by one and he's touching the people and everyone just collapsing. Like dropping like flies one by one, boom, 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 boom. And I'm thinking, them time there I'm doing a bit of badness, so I'm like, you know what? I need to get my, you know, like my blessing and whatnot. Like, I need to get right. Like, whatever he's doing, I need
some of that.
I need some of that. You know what I'm trying to say? Because I'm kind of fugging at this point. You know what I mean? So I'm like, cool, let me go up and get my thing, you know. Gone up. Wallahi, bro, this man, he had all the oil. He touched my head like this. He's pushing me. I was like this. I'm thinking, boy, something not right here for me, personally. No offense to any other, but for me, I was like, I don't know about this.
Why didn't you drop to the floor?
Because I wasn't acting like everyone. Well, what? I don't know. Like,
You said it was an act.
well, I wouldn't say that because some people feel. I don't know. I don't know because your work was. I don't know because it's gonna get technical. I don't want to say what like in a.
But you didn't get the force.
But whatever he was doing, it didn't get to me. And the reason why I say that it was an act because I know my brother. My brother's not. One of my brothers is not on that right now, and I just know like. I just know him. You get me? Like I know how he is. So I think. If he was on the floor, I just know him. Like, you know when you know your brother, like, this is my blood brother. Like, you ain't into all this and you're on the floor. You know what I mean?
So when did you get that concept of Allah, God? Was it through this brother Amjad or somebody?
No, this comes so later. So basically now, anyway, so I know I want to speed up the story, Cam. But you know me, I always talk in a lot of detail. But anyway, so like I said, I'm hearing the songs and then... I remember I must have maybe got to about this maybe lasted over like I found out my Shahada in 06, like late 06. So like I said, I heard all the songs and I'm around it. I'm seeing a couple brothers and that, and then basically, excuse me, I said to one of my brothers like one time, I was like, bro, I might just do this Muslim thing, you know. And everyone's in the end like, no, like, you can't do that, and tear, and do woo, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, but then one of my guys that weren't Muslim at the time, I don't know what he's on, but he weren't Muslim at the time. His, like, older homie, like, was Muslim. So when I told him, he told him. And my man rang me. That's, I'll say his name, it's Killer Kai, yeah? So Killer Kai phoned me. He's like, yo, I heard you want to be Muslim. And I'm like, yeah, like, I was thinking about it. And I used to, we used to roll. So I used to kind of, he was Muslim though. But but this is what I'm trying to say. When he was Muslim, a lot of people used to look at him like, madman, killer, he's a madman. You know what I mean? So.
He was Muslim from them times, yeah?
Yeah, he was Muslim before me. He was one of the first people that act for man's age group in Peckham to be on that. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, I'll take you masjid tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, why not? You know what I mean? And then one of my brothers at the time, he was kind of on it with me, but when it was crunch time, he was on it.
From Peckham.
He's from Peckham too, you know what I mean? Because we used to roll and I used to kind of chat to it because he was like born, like, you know, one of them people that got a Muslim dad and a Christian mom. So it's like, yeah, my dad's Muslim. And he used to give me, he's like, look at these books. And it was like the alphabet and stuff like that. So anyway, cut a long story short, we was kind of gassing. But when it comes to the crunch, he went on it. I don't know why, whatever. He passed away though, but he was like, so I'm like, yo, I'm going to go take this Shahada thing. I think he even told me what it was called.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, you got to take your Shahada. So I was thinking, yeah, like, let's do this, innit? Like, so I'm like, yeah, yo, Killer Kai talking about Shahada, like, we're going to go. He was like, I don't know, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I just know he didn't come. Cut long story short, link Killer the next day. No, I told my mum the night before. I'm like, Mum, like, I'm thinking of doing this Muslim thing. But I remember she was like half asleep or something. Like, she's like, yeah, like, whatever, like, I was like, all right, cool. That sounds good to me. Bro, went with Killer to Peckham Masjid, I'll never forget it, bro. Went there. I didn't even know what was going on. I swear. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know what was... Them time I had cane roll as well. I still had my hair. And obviously they made me... Now I obviously know, but at the time they were like, yeah, just say this, say that. And I'm like, and they're like, that's it. And then they was like, oh, And I was like, was that it?
Yeah.
And then I was
He
like,
was waiting for some hand to
yeah,
check.
I was like, you know what I mean?
Some
like,
oil, yeah.
some oil or something. Like, I was like, is that it? He was like, yeah. And then there was like, and I was like, so what's my name? Like, because I heard you get a name.
Yeah.
But obviously at the time, I didn't know you could choose your name. Like, I'm thinking this, because them time there, I'm looking at the mom, like she's got like superpowers. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not looking at him like he's just a brother that's got a lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, you're...
But that's from the Jesus kind of angle,
you understand?
isn't
Yeah, you get it. So I'm thinking, if you're here jumping people in this, like, you must be...
Some power.
Some powerful... You must have... Like, you must be, you know, top of the top. Like.
Yeah,
So I'm like...
We've seen Imam's powers, man. He got some powers, man.
Alhamdulillah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what's my name? And they was like, well, do you, like, because I don't know what they was thinking. So then at first, they gave me Abdulaziz. This is my original Muslim name, you know what I mean? But I was like, cool. But for some reason, it's a beautiful name, alhamdulillah, but I didn't know what it meant. I didn't understand none of that. So I was like, I don't really like this name, but I guess the mom with the powers gave me the name, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, cool. Then I remember the next day, I still had K-Rose. Killer took me Baker Street. Yeah, Baker Street to get some bits and bobs and that. Like, he gave me a scarf, he gave me a couple books. And I still got them books. He gave me books, gave me like a kufi and that. And I was like, yeah, bro, I'm just
part of the gang.
Put my scarf on, put my kufi
You went to
on.
You went to Brixton.
Nah, I didn't go Brixton then. I didn't go Brixton then. Because I didn't know about Brotherhood then. But anyway, put my kufi on. Now I'm on the ends. Everyone's looking at me like, this guy has gone mad.
So are you like year 11 now? Year 10?
Yeah, I'm like year 11. No, year 10, year 11.
Okay.
So I remember when I went home, I told my mum, I'm like, oh yeah, I done that Muslim thing. What? Big madness. You get me? They're like, talking. You know what? People that don't understand the deen talk like, this, that. Taliban, all the names you can flip and think of, you know? And I was like...
Did you understand at that time what the Shahada means, who Allah is, who the Prophet ﷺ is?
No.
Okay.
Nothing.
What did
Didn't the Imam explain it?
Huh?
Okay.
Didn't the Imam explain it?
Yeah, but like, it was just
He wasn't comprehending at the time.
Remember, I'm thinking, bruv, I just want to do this because I'm on the street stuff. Like, where's the... do you get what I mean?
He's waiting for the burners.
Yeah, like, when do I meet the guy with the...
He just wants to join Stinks and Dean.
Yeah, like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, when do I get
Sold him a dream.
Yeah, like, when do I get the link that these guys kind of got? Like, where are them guys? You know what I mean? So that's all I was thinking. So I went to school and people was like, oh, like, swear down, you done that. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm... But I just knew... Me being me, I always stand 10 toes on whatever I do. So I just knew, Mum, whatever you say is not going to change what I've done here. You get it? So, you know, I was in the streets doing what I'm doing. And then I think Ramadan come and people like, you fasting? I'm like, no. Like, I'm all telling the man, them like, oh, you don't still believe in Jesus? And all. I'm saying all kind of stuff. I'm saying... madness, like, so I didn't know nothing. I didn't know how to pray. I didn't know nothing. Like,
but you just feel proud that you're in a better way of life kind of thing.
I didn't know it was a better... Well, I thought, technically, I thought that I was in something that was obviously better than what you lot was on. But I didn't really... For the wrong reasons.
You didn't fathom it, probably.
I didn't... So, anyway, cut a long story short, that was it. So I think I was trying to learn how to pray. I think Killer gave me a DVD or something like that and a book. You know, I just played it. I didn't know nothing. Like, I didn't know, like, I remember, he taught, like, he used to talk me would do. He taught me, like, when we got, because we used to go to mosque every, like, now basically Friday Muslim, you know, like go Friday, do, pray Jummah, like, not, you know, a word what's going on, not understand nothing, And I was living my life like that, really, until I went in jail.
So, how old were you then?
My first time when I went 2008. And I went, I think I'd done a couple Eids and, you know, even Ramadan, like, I was not fasting.
In prison?
No,
Outside?
before I got prison.
Okay.
On road, I was not fasting. Like, I remember Ramadan, I can see it now. I remember eating a McFlurry, like, I was like, you fucking know? Like, I didn't know, like, nothing, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't even know Jesus was still a part of the deed. You get it?
No.
I didn't know Moses, none of that. So, I can't remember. So, yeah, I was just living my life like that with no knowledge, basically. Then, fast forward, obviously I got arrested, went jail. Then, that's when, I can't remember exactly how I learned. Like, I remember, like, you know, man's, I want my, like, you know, jail stuff, you want tasbihs, like, you want to wear it like a chain, like, you just, because you think it's a cross, like, you think it's your cross, so, like, you're wearing it. Anything that they do,
the opposite.
This is the opposite, and this is what we do. So, I got tasbihs around my neck, I'm walking around, and, you know, like, jail, and then, you know, like, you want to, I need a Quran, like, you know, you don't even want it, but you're just acting like, I need a Quran, I need to go Friday prayers, like, rare. And I remember, I don't know what books I started reading. Yeah, and I started realizing that, oh, it might have been slightly on road, I can't remember that. No, because I had a book there called Contradictions in the Bible. That it was a mad book, but whatever. But I didn't understand that what they were saying about Jesus, we had our own version. So when I was in jail now and I got the Quran, I couldn't read Quran, like in English or whatever. So, because I didn't understand the wording. When it's saying we, I was like, who is we? That's what I used to think. I was like, who is we? We said to this and that. I'm just like, bruv, this is crazy, bro, because I don't understand none of this stuff. Like, and this is what I'm supposed to believe in.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. I can't remember how I got the knowledge, but someone said to me, I don't know if it was in jail, I can't remember, but it might have been their mom or something. It was like, or it might have read like a hadith book or something, and basically said, like, if you ask God, or whoever told me, it's like, if you ask Allah, like, for something and to help you understand something, you just gotta ask, like, and it will, like, make dua, it will happen. So I remember when I was reading the Quran, I was like, please, man, just, like, make this become clear to me. And wallahi, like, in, like, the next day or two, that we just...
You understood it?
Just, yeah, it's like it wasn't saying, it's like, well, the messages, you know what I mean? The angels, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking, right, I'm understanding this. And I just started breezing through it, and then that's when I started seeing Moses, and to my recollection, Allah, and I was like, that's when I started seeing, oh, Moses and G, and I'm starting saying, yo,
so
okay.
Were you about 16, 17?
I was 17. I was 17. Oh, no, October the 8th, 08, that's when I first went to prison.
And most of that understanding that you started understanding came from your own reading.
Yeah.
What about brothers, meeting brothers there?
I ain't met no brothers.
Okay.
I ain't met no brothers. I've never met no, tell a lie. I used to know a couple brothers from, like, that used to be hanging with the Stockwell guys, but not on a
solid thing.
Like on an Islamic level. Okay. They were just happy, like, I took Shahada, because obviously over Brixton, Stockwell, they understood it more. So they used to be like, you know, like, they'll just be in the car like, yeah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And I'm just like, why you don't keep saying that? Like, you know, like, do you know what I mean? Like, so I just knew that they knew more, you know? But anyway, fast forward back to jail. It's my first time in jail. Boom, boom, boom. You know, I don't think, the Ramadan didn't come them times. It might have all come and I wasn't, you know what I mean? I still didn't get it. Got out, 3 months on road, boom, caught this case. And obviously, before I caught this case, the person I caught the case with, I don't want to say that a bit techie, but I met him. And when I met him, he's the first brother, like, when we're doing certain things, he's like, he's like, but this is just for brothers, you know, like, And I was thinking, like, like, don't do this, like, if it's just for, like, basically, don't bring no harm to no brothers, basically. And I was like...
He's from Peckham or Brixton?
He's from country.
Country, okay.
So I was like, Brixton, I wasn't stepping foot in there them time there. I couldn't even go over there at all. Like, So I would never, like, that's what I'm saying. So I didn't have a community of brothers in Peckham, but I met this brother in country.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And being my Cody. So he used to say things like, oh, like, you know, like, whatever. But just make sure it's not no brothers, though. And he used to make sure, like, like, he'll say, I'll buy you any food you want to eat. Just make sure it's halal. And he was such a good brother in that sense of brotherhood that he used to annoy me, actually. Like, he used to annoy me because I'm so used to the grime and the snakes and the... Like, I used to be like, bruv, just let me buy my own food, bruv. Like, that's how I'm twisted the roles are. Like, I'm used to man being so, like you ask a man for a hot wing.
Selfish and snaky.
You ask a man for a hot wing, man's got 5 hot wings. Like, oh. You know what I mean? This brother is like, I'm gonna buy you. Don't like none of the man that brought me food, but do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Brotherly love, innit?
Yeah,
Islamic
brotherly love.
Yeah.
And he's doing it only because
You're Muslim.
I'm Muslim. And my boy that was with me wasn't. He weren't treating them badly, but I could clock that.
There's a slight difference.
Just the difference. And it weren't even like in a
arrogant way.
Arrogant, yeah, in an arrogant way. It was just basically so we don't have to do the kind of haram stuff, if that makes sense, for my boy. He would use me to, like, if you want the food, get halal food, I'll buy it for you and my man. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And at a certain time we were sleeping up there and whatever, he like, it was that real. He'd be like, just sleep in my children's room. I'm like, nah, bro, let me sleep in. He's like, trust me, actually, it's cool. Just sleep it. Like, and I started to cry, and then he used to say certain things, and I used to think, why is this guy so, like, protective over, like, this deen thing? And then, you know, he linked me up with someone else, and then this guy was, like, one of them guys, like, you know what I mean? Like, he was one of them guys, like, and he was like, he said the same thing to me. He's like, actually, just make sure it's not no brothers. And I was like,
This is the plug you was waiting for.
yeah, basically, like, you know what I'm trying to say, but we ain't gonna get into that. But anyway, he was like, yeah, actually, just and you know when the brothers talk that talk, like, you know, that with the calm, like, brother, trust me, you know what I mean? I was like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying, though, innit? Like, you know them brothers that move mysterious.
Yeah. There's a different frequency with them.
Yeah, there's a different like, because they're so far into the deen that a man so far out that man don't understand
What you're saying.
what they're saying. But obviously in hindsight now, I understand exactly what they're saying. Yeah. So and I was thinking, now I'm kind of learning. Like, they basically put
Iman.
more iman and more, like, they give man the wisdom to, like, understand, like, a Muslim's blood, like, is sacred.
So even though they was doing wrong and everyone there is doing it wrong, he's teaching you a lot of
other aspects of the thing. And I'm like, what? Like, is it really that peak, man? Like, if man do something to a brother and rare. So it basically made me conscious of that. You know what I mean?
Side point, a tiny boost. You know, so the principle of, it's like, we don't oppress anyone.
Yeah, of course.
You know, in one hadith, the believer is somebody that others, their wealth and their blood is safe.
Yeah.
But what we have here, while we are just with everyone, it's a slightly higher level that we have with brothers and sisters in Islam, because, you know, that's wala. That's our first loyalty.
Exactly. That's basically what they were showing me. You know what I mean? So it's not like, to even go on that point, it's not like I was thinking, that I just do things to anyone that's... No. It's just that I realised that a Muslim is like, you're supposed to basically see them like how you see you wouldn't want to do nothing to your blood brother, right?
Yeah.
So that's the way and that's what I started to understand, like, you know me, like, these brothers, this brother, like, he will give you the clothes off his back. Like, if you got no socks, he gonna take them socks off and give it to you. That's the vibe that I got, like, you know. And this was based on the deen, and I was like, raw. That sat with me. Cut long story short, you're not catching the case and whatnot. Go in jail. You know, once again, see.
That's your first time or second time?
This is my second time now. Now this is why I caught my big bird. So I'm in jail. You know,
What's your age now? 18, 19?
18.
18.
18.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I turned 18 in 2009, and that's when I went away. I turned 18 in May, and I got wrapped up in August. So yeah, it was only 3 months out. So I just got out from the last one. Anyway, got to jail, and then like even now, Ramadan come. There was a brother from Lewisham actually in there, and he was like, "You're not fasting?" I was like, nah. Time gone on. Then I remember I started fasting. 1 year, the next, I was like, I'm gonna do it this year. So I started fasting. Remember these times, I still don't know. I'm not even praying at this point. I'm in jail. I'm not even praying like that. I'm just going Jummah.
Your Friday prayers.
But did you know you had to pray at that time?
Nah, like I did. I know that's what we do, but I didn't know this is compulsory.
On a positive, 18, you're still a kid, akhi.
Yeah, of course.
You understand?
Of course.
So, not to be too harsh on yourself.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's hard to not think about how blasé I was with it, knowing what I know about the deen now. Like, but obviously, you don't know what you don't know, innit? You know what I mean? So, Allah while a minute. But, yeah. So, it's like, I'm just going to fast forward.
And it's a long case, this one?
Yeah, I was on remand for 2.5 years. I ended up doing...
What was the total sentence you done?
I ended up doing 8.5.
Straight,
yeah.
Okay.
I got IPP on it. So,
Okay.
Yeah. So I remember Ramadan came, and like when you're in juvenile, like weren't juvenile, but it was like young offenders, weren't the adult prison. You're not really around people that know deen either. So Ramadan come, they're giving you a flask and whatnot. I was just working on the timing. So I used to eat. Stop eating when I saw the sun rising. So I remember sometimes I sleep, try wake up, I see the sun. If I just really come in, like, I'm not supposed to be eating. I don't know this at this point, but I see the sun rising. I'm just like that. I'm gonna get this food, like, you know what I mean, because I'm just I'm self-teaching myself again. And then I can't remember exactly how and when. I got sentenced. Then obviously jail, Ramadan started getting easier. I'm doing it every year.
You're doing it properly then?
I'm doing it. Yeah, I can't remember who told me. They're like, nah, like, it's the time. And I was like, right, probably my mom, to be honest. It's like, it's the time you got to, I'm like, oh yeah, all right, cool. Next Ramadan or whatever Ramadan, I started that. Then I started reading, got sentenced. I've obviously taught myself prayers, how to pray.
So you're praying 5 times a day in the
Yeah. More or less. Okay. Sometimes I'm not even praying 5 times a day, but I'm being honest, because, like I said, but then what happened was, obviously I knew, and then obviously in jail, man, get on that, he's a brother, we're brothers, like, yeah, when some man are just saying it, not, because that's natural what we do, innit? Then, obviously, when I got birded, and I went to Rye Hill, yeah? So Rye Hill was a BCAT. So there's a couple BCATs in the country. Rye Hill, Dovegate, Loudon Green, Swellside. I mean, that's about it, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that's the local ones that man go. And basically, the brothers now from like dispersal, that's the ACATs, what they call that, they're coming down. Right? And you have man already from dispersal in the thing. So this is now where I start learning about the deen properly.
Through brothers.
Okay. Because now, man, because I'm coming fresh from ISIS, gassed and that, like, I don't care about nothing at this point.
HMP ISIS, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
HMP ISIS,
yeah, HMP ISIS in next to Belbus. So I'm coming from there. I only had a little stop off in Pentonville. That ain't nothing. But so now, basically, we're getting it. Like, I was with a youth now. He's getting into madness. I always say his name, but he's my guy. He's getting into madness with guys, but they're brothers.
He's a brother or he's not a brother?
He's not a brother.
Okay.
But I'm banged up with him.
Okay.
So the brothers are approaching me, like, and I'm thinking, they're like, Aki, da-da-da-da. In my mind, I'm like, like, what are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? But basically, it's a brotherhood in the jail. basically. And then I'm starting to learn about dispersal and stuff, like, so they're telling me, like, bro, the brothers, don't get me wrong, and this is, I'll say how it is. A lot of brothers use the deen to their advantage because, for example, you can't have a next door neighbour on the road and your next door neighbour's having a party. You can't go to next door neighbour. Obviously, politely is whatever, you could tell them, turn it down or whatever. Naturally, that's how neighbours live. But you can't go in their yard and just
shut down the thing.
Shut their stereo down. You can't do that.
Like we said, look, it's not about oppression.
Yeah, it's not about oppression.
Anyone.
So these things happen in prison, basically. Or you're not allowed to cook this, or you're not allowed to or man will use, you know, an argument that's kufr, like, basically, but use the brothers, because you're a brother, to back your crazy argument. And then, you know what I'm trying to say? It's not good.
Politics, basically, with the deen.
You get me? It's not about, a man's not dissing you on an Islamic thing. He's dissing you on the level that you are, whatever, on a prison thing, on a man. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, you can't, like, for example, you can't be having an argument about drugs or something and think...
bring the deen to it
and bring the deen, well, the brothers need to ride for me because we're brothers, and this ain't about that.
It's not about that, you're right.
This is about drugs. You've involved yourself in...
something haram.
In something haram, so whatever. I don't know the exact, you know, like, how it works in that situation, but to me, you can't manipulate brothers into riding for you because you've got a haram argument. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
And even the Islamic angle is that the Prophet ﷺ said that you help your Muslim brother in all circumstances.
Yeah, of course.
The oppressed and the oppressor. And they said, we understand helping the oppressed, but how can we help the oppressor? He said, by stopping him doing the things that is, you understand?
Yeah, exactly.
So in that sequence, you're meant to stop the man from doing
come
that.
on, bro, this ain't right.
Yeah, you still have loyalty, but you know what, no, you can't be doing that.
Exactly.
That's haram.
So so I'm not saying every situation in jail is like that, but that's a lot of situations. So anyway.
But your faith, iman is developing, you're learning, you're getting knowledge.
No, of course. But I just don't want to, you know, like, act like I'm with all that stuff, because I'm not with all that. Like, I'm with, if it's deen, it's deen. We work and we do it the proper way. You know what I'm saying? So anyway. So now I'm learning all this stuff, and, you know, man are stopping beef because of did it there. And then that's when I started realizing, like, yo, I just started reading, and I started reading books and learning, and I started learning. And one thing I found was basically everything that I was getting from the streets is in Islam.
It's not, what, sorry?
It's in Islam.
It's in Islam.
It's in Islam, okay.
I say that to say, you want your brother to ride for you in any situation. That's what the deen said, like, you know what I mean? You want your brother to help you. You want people to, you know what I'm trying to say? You want no back. You don't want your brother to talk bad about you. You don't want to talk bad about your, like, it's just, it's near enough, yeah? It's like every code that the street guys live by is in the deen.
I was saying, like, what did I say? Who did we ask last time? Was it Cody or someone? And we were saying, like, why do so many people in prison come to Islam?
Yeah.
And it's from that kind of angle, which is that it's got a lot of similarities
100%.
in that. The brotherhood is the main thing. Like,
Exactly.
I support you no matter what.
Yeah,
You understand?
Like, I'm hungry, actually. What, you need food? Boom.
Yeah, all that.
Like, you know what I'm trying to say? So I started realizing, like, this is how I think anyway.
So you being from Peckham at that stage in prison, you must have come across brothers from other ends. And now...
That is that kind of...
How did that go down?
That used to be all right. Well, not knowing that I had dramas with, but, you know, like people that maybe the man them had dramas with, they just look at me, oh, Salam, like, your brother, we're good. That's it.
Okay, alhamdulillah.
So
Alhamdulillah.
It just used to be like that for me. And, you know...
Because that's part of the vision, akhi. The bridge, as you see.
Yeah.
Bridging brothers.
Yeah, of course, it's important.
That's the vision behind
this. But that's what it is, because you need to know that whatever you're banging or however you want to say it, like, bro, it's not more powerful or more righteous than the deen, brother. You know what I'm trying to say? So you got to avoid it at all costs, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever guide, whatever you think it is, Like, that's what it was with me. And for me, like, even when I was on road and before I even went to jail, and I knew the man then was looking at me funny, I'm like...
Which man, Muslims or the non-Muslims?
The non-Muslims.
The non-Muslims,
like,
okay.
Not funny, like, I'm a funny, but why you want, like...
Okay.
Oh, you want to be just like the Brixton boys, or like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, all them kind of talk man's had, like, but it's like...
Yeah, because Peckham didn't really have a lot of Muslims.
Not at all. So as time goes on, and, you know, as you start reading Quran and you start hearing about they're going to say and this people and that people, you start realising, like, that's the man then. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's the man.
Your
like,
own people.
Your own people going to look at you like me, when I read Quran, not that I'm trying to change the words or nothing like that, I just try to put it in a way for people like myself will understand. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's like, Allah's the guy. That's you get what I'm trying? That's the guy of all the guys. That's the boss of all bosses. You get what I'm trying to say? He's got something that's been presented to us that is, it's an organization that's better than anything you can come up with. There's no loopholes in this thing.
One of the things you mentioned, you know, you're reading the Quran. The miracle of the Quran is you're reading it, but you're also seeing it and living it right now.
Yes.
So well, Allah's speaking about this, but I've experienced that.
Exactly.
And those guys and the hypocrites and the disbelievers
and the believers and the Brotherhood. And all of that is in the streets.
Yeah.
Hypocrites, liars, backbiters, snakes, the ones that say they're with you, but then behind the back, they're you know what I'm trying to say? Like, even when you get a name or you get famous, like, man, bye, guy, man. Behind God, can't stand my man. Like, that's the streets. I promise you.
Yeah.
Like, haters, like, man behind your back with girls, like, look up my man, and but see him in the flesh. Oh, what, brother? The Quran explains all this, or gives you an example of all these things. It's already happened. You know what I'm saying? So, or even the guys that think they're tough, when it's really time, they always run off. You see it? We've seen it in time, battle of this, battle of that. This guy ran off, this guy. You see what I'm trying to say? So even, like, everything you want to stand for, like, I'm not saying you have to be a tough guy, but there was tough guys in Islam. These are tough guys. These are real tough guys, bro. These are not, like, strong, like, they're up against outnumbered. This is all the stuff you talk about in the roads. Like, what you gonna do when you're outnumbered? What you gonna do when you're by yourself? What, when you really see your enemy and whatever. I'm not trying to just sway it on, like, that type of thing. I'm just saying
that's how you understood it.
The non-cowardice, like, you think that's all road stuff. That's in the deen. You know what I'm trying to say? So obviously, time goes on. I was in that jail. Like I said, that's where I learned a lot. And then I got my CCAT, moved down, and I started studying with a brother. He's my good brother now. Like, his name is Bones, by the way. But we used to study. Like, bring books and read, and you know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? We used to just read the books, and that's how I learned about Tawheed. That's how I learned all the stuff you asked me about now.
Okay.
You get it? So I studied in jail.
So now you're what, 21, 22?
Yeah. 21, 22, you know. I got Seal Nectar, that book. That's an important book for me. Every time people talk about Deen, I always recommend that. Yeah, because
it's a deep book, yeah.
Biography, that's when you learn, and I don't want to go into it because obviously it's a madness, but you know what some people do outside this country? That's what, like, when I read that, I learned how to not misinterpret certain things because you have to understand. If you don't understand
context of
things and what was going on at that time, and this is why this sorrow was, you know what I'm trying to say, and this is what they were doing at this time and that time, you ain't gonna understand what this is saying to you, in my humble opinion. You know what I'm trying to say? You hear me? So
100%.
Once I started learning that, that's when I started learning, okay, this is this, and this is why certain people do this and do that and think this is that way, but really and truly, you get what I'm trying to say? So then, from
CCAT, DCAT.
Yeah, but from CCAT, from that CCAT, that was it. That, like, obviously, I never gave up once on the deed, to be fair, but, you know.
When you've come out now, moving fast forward a bit, deen-wise, did you keep to those principles. Okay, you're keeping up your salah, you're keeping up your Ramadan.
You know, like I don't want
To the best of your ability, yeah?
Yeah, things happen, you know what I'm trying to say? But obviously, I've got, like, my addiction with the roads and, like, you know what I mean? This dunya is, deep in the dunya, you know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, it's just in me. It's like poison, you know, no one's there. It's like cancer, bro. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, so one thing about me, I always know, I know better. Like, I do think about deen all the time, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I just, obviously in time, inshallah, you know,
Inshallah.
I'll get it out of me, you know what I mean? But
Inshallah. Just a question, Akhi. So, you know, in terms of the Peckham, kind of like some of the youngsters and the community in Peckham. So
I'm banned from this. I can't really go around.
No, just in terms of the people, in terms of, you know, so you got gigs, you got knuckles and stuff. Yeah. Did you get an opportunity? Number one, how are they with Islam?
The man them was like, the man them just the man them, innit? Like, they're kind of like...
Any dawah? Did you give any dawah to them or?
No. You know what it is? With the man them, it's like, they've been around, like I said, a lot of people been presented with Islam through, you might as well say Brixton's like a school of thought. You might as well say. So, they've been presented with the deen in that way.
Okay.
So, I'm not going to say it's left a bad taste, but it's like, that's how they secretly view the thing. Not with a lot of the man them. Like, they don't really understand it to the depths of
how it is.
How it really is.
Okay.
Inshallah, it could happen, but, you know, that's all I'm going to say on that.
And on your part, you know, coming out, you know, and knowing, okay, I'm from Peckham, and there's brothers in Brixton, Streatham, Thornton, as you mentioned. Your wala, how did you feel now? You know, you come back to the...
because, exactly. So now, because I know what I know, I made it my mission. I said, when I get out and I'm out, I'm going Brixton Mosque.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So you went there, you linked up with the brothers there and stuff?
I didn't even call no one. I didn't know. I think I knew one brother that was going. No, that was it. One of my brothers, I don't know, you might know him, Musa.
From Peckham?
Yeah.
Resold.
Musa.
Yeah.
So when I first come out, obviously, he's a brother that I know from he was, like, for example, I remember I was going to, like, before, I was going to beat someone up in Ramadan, you know what I mean? And
a brother?
No, he wasn't a brother.
Okay.
And he drove up, and I remember he was like, yo, bro, it's Ramadan. I was like, what you mean that it's Ramadan? Like, I'm not even trying to hear that. Like, you know what I mean?
He's on the roads.
Huh?
On the roads.
He's on the roads. And basically took the guy away, basically, you know? And then so from that, I always knew, like, he's on some different type of... Obviously, we're all trying, but at that time, to me, I was like, right, he's on some different type of Islam, but I don't know what type of Muslim he is. He taking that stuff serious, you know what I mean? So... when I got out, I made sure I got in contact with him, you know what I mean? So, I used to man, praying Brixton and the brothers, so I was like, cool, like, let's go. But because I know about the deen, I'm thinking there ain't no way someone gonna see me in there and start talking a madness, you know what I mean? Because if you understand this deen, I understand this deen, you're going to be blessed, you know what I mean?
And I mentioned in previous, you know, how a lot of brothers here from different ends, they would be enemies before in Jahiliyyah.
Yeah.
And then they would meet as Muslims and become the best friends and the best brothers.
That's how I met Stinch.
Yeah.
At Brixton Mosque.
Okay.
So one of the days he come, he was there. One day I was there, he was there. Then that's how we met. And we just been brothers ever since.
MashaAllah.
You know what I mean? So... I let him know he's the reason, one of the reasons why I took Shahada, you know, is there, to be fair.
Alhamdulillah, akhi, you know what, journey to Islam, you come out, you're linking brothers, you're studying, you're learning, you're praying, you're fasting, all of that is positive. So a question, inshallah, this, you know, really for me, it's also about the viewers, because I think it's important that, you know what, there's so much negative stuff out there, and I want, you know, the youngsters out there to know and understand that our brothers in the industry, music industry, but you know what, they're proud about their Islamic identity.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you feel about your Islamic identity, akhi? Then and now.
I've always represented, you know what I'm trying to say, but I represent, I don't want to say for the wrong reason, but I was representing more on I don't know if it's arrogance, but it's like, I'm doing this. This is me. Don't like, so I'm gonna stick by it. Whereas now, I know it's like, I understand my deen now, innit? So I understand that I've got to represent it, obviously for myself, but for the Most High also. You know what I'm trying to say? And I can't be shy of this to say I'm Muslim or, you know, like, tell someone, no, I don't do that, or, do you know what I'm trying to say? So, yeah, like, because I understand on the flip side of it is things that I do that could be detrimental to my deen. These are serious things. There's serious consequences, you know what I'm trying to say? So I got to let people know that, you know what I mean?
In terms of, since you've been Muslim 17, 18, more so
15,
15,
06.
yeah, 06. And up to now, anything that you look back and say, you know what, that's a regret for me. I shouldn't have done that. Maybe it was an aggression against a brother or a non-Muslim even, or anything.
I regret, you know what? As a Muslim, I regret like contributing to certain things within man's community. But it's like, I didn't understand, you know, like a ripple effect, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really understand that at the time. But yeah, I just regret, you know, and I regret, you know, like not studying earlier and, you know what I'm trying to say? I regret wasting time. That's the main thing I regret when it comes to deen as well, like wasting time and, you know, like, because if I studied earlier and harder, like I said when we were talking downstairs after the thing, it's like, the way I look at it like this, see the deen, it's like a safety net. Like, anything, Allah will embarrass you, innit? You know what I'm saying? But if you turn to him, you won't be embarrassed. Like, it's that good that if I learnt deen and come off what I'm on technically now, and just come out and said, I'm on deen, beard or whatever, not whatever, like, but the typical, like, beard, this is what I'm on. No one will ridicule me about that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I wish I knew that back then. Like, Allah's going to protect me from certain things that, you know, that I find difficult to deal with. Like, you're going to help me deal with my pride and, you know what I'm trying to say? And you feel me? If I understood certain things. Because the older you get and you learn certain things, isn't it? Like, it's harder to let your brain absorb it. So, yeah.
You're still young, bro. You're still young.
Yeah, no, of course. But yeah, that's it. I wish I didn't waste as much time and I studied more.
Side point, you know, alhamdulillah, you gave a reminder. We prayed Isha, and you gave a reminder straight after Isha to the brothers and sisters in the community. Akhi, powerful.
Alhamdulillah.
You know, this is not to kind of like big you up, but akhi, just to give you an inspiration that Allah Ta'ala has given you a talent that needs to be used to bring people towards deen.
Yeah.
I had to hold my tears listening to you.
Alhamdulillah.
You know, the hope, the last point, you get 3 points from
us.
Even that was deep, akhi.
No, it's right, because it's what I believe. I can't lie. Like sometimes I look at what I'm doing and I'm like, fam, this is you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a battle, you know what I mean? It's a battle, but and that's what I'm saying. Like, I know you could get taken out of this game. I'm talking about life, taken out of your, like, for example, like, people look at man as, you know, like, you're, like, I'm not even that high up in this thing, but people look at me and see me, you know, they run up to me and I'm thinking, bruv, like, you don't even know what I'm
battling with.
Yeah, battling with, like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like imagine, for example, like, me getting a Grammy for this, like, talking this madness, you know what I'm trying to say? I got to come up. I've always thought about my speech. Like, I've got to practically beg for forgiveness on the stage. Like, I've got to, like, most people say, oh, like, thank God, but it's not really, like, trust me, like, that's how deep this thing is in my heart. Like, I can't thank God for something. Do you get what I mean? Because I know the real. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But I say that to say this, but I know that, you know, like I said, anything can happen, where today some idiot could come with a phone and record me and slap me off guard. I'll be the laughing stock, and that's it. It could affect everything that I've built. But I know for a fact, if I come out today, I said, I'm done. I'm on deen. Allah, it's a safe, do you get what I'm trying to say? He got, like, no one's not gonna ridicule you for that, or make you feel like some people just beg you to come back, but you know what I mean? Like, that's how powerful this deen is.
SubhanAllah.
Do you get it?
In terms of, again, you know, you're big in the music scene. Could there be something, and honestly, I was asking brothers before, you know, about kind of like the music you do, or kind of like the videos you might have, because I honestly kind of like seeing anything. Now, if there are, let's say, naked women in there, or there's a lot of swearing in there, do you think there's a possibility of you
toning it down?
Akhi?
To be honest, actually, I swear to you, I try to, if anyone wants to see even my videos, and this ain't me lying, like, just because I'm here, I don't really do the women, because I'm not really in this for girls, like, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm in this because, actually, like, it's like, I gotta get this, I know, and this is the thing, I don't want to sound hypocritical, because I know we've returned to Allah and vent to Allah, but this has been a method, like, for me to just, I don't know, like, just, like I said, this stuff, like I said downstairs when we prayed, like, this stuff's in me. Like I said, I've been out here from, like, 11, you know what I'm saying? 11, 12, like, I've seen so much, like, lost so much, like, you know what I'm saying? I've had good times, bad times, like, even in jail, I've had good times, but it's so much to take in. Like, this is just my way of just, like, without, like,
releasing your...
doing a madness, this is my way, this is my only way. It was not my only way, but this is the one way I've felt good to, you know, put something out, like, and express myself and hear it back and get out of me, like it's like, boom. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's that deep, like, when I make this music, like, when I'm rapping, I'm saying what I'm saying, like, people don't even understand, like, how deep it is, because I can't even say what I really want to say. You know what I'm trying to say? Because it's you know, these police and that, or whatever, but, and I'm not talking about me doing anything, or just, like...
Speaking about reality.
Just speaking about my reality, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's just like, I don't know, man, it's just...
Do you think, I mean, Akhi, you know, you're gifted, do you think it could also be used for challenging oppression,
100%,
challenging injustice, challenging race, you know?
Yeah, I don't believe Allah blesses you with something, like, even my voice, people always talk to me about my voice, like the sound of my voice. Like, it's like, Allah's given me this voice for a reason. You know what I'm saying? The way you act, the way your mannerisms are is for a reason. Like, and I do believe if you look in His path to find how it can fit in with His rules and regulations, you're going to see benefits for that.
Side point, you know, so look, you mentioned Sahaba. Umar ibn Khattab.
Yeah.
You know, Allah blessed him with something. Khalid bin Walid, Allah blessed him with something. Abu Huraira, Allah blessed him with something. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, Allah blessed him with something. There was a companion, wasn't known for fighting, but he was a poet. His name was Hassan bin Thabit. Like, with his poetry, he defended the Messenger of Allah. Before he say anything against the Prophet, he comes back with poetry in defending the Prophet. Meaning, you know, skills that Allah has given us within boundaries could be used to please Allah, bring people towards deen and challenge oppression. And that was my point. Do you think that could be done?
Yeah, no, 100%. Because I just see that just now. That's the first time I've ever spoke to people.
Subhanallah, akhi, subhanallah.
Like, I don't go and have, like I've had conversations. I've done maybe a live podcast, like, in front of people. I've done that with Reesum. But it's like, I know if I put my mind to it, like,
can be done.
I could stand up with people and motivate people with my story another way. You know what I'm saying? That's me being real. Like, you asked me that 20 minutes ago to think of something. I thought of that just there on the spot. Like, what can you say, what does it mean to me? I'm thinking, what am I going to say? Boom, boom, boom. It's like writing lyrics, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was rough, but some of them people there wouldn't even know that. They might have thought I planned that for a week. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I just know. Like, and I just know that I've always been like a leader. So I've always been someone that can motivate people to do things. You know what I mean? So I know for a fact that Allah has blessed me with a voice. This is my gift, you know what I mean? That's why I promise you, actually, there's bare people that call me to come on their show and come on there. I don't go. But you see, for this year,
Allahu Akbar.
you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to make sure, because like I said, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I know what's on the other side, innit? You know what I mean? So I need something in that.
We are looking at, Akhi, you know, like an Umrah trip. Or a retreat with brothers, you know, from you know, here, Brixton, Peckham, gel more, learn more, study more, week trip. And then, inshallah, you know, build the brothers.
That's one of my dreams, you know, to do Ramadan in an Islamic country. I don't want to do it here no more.
Yeah.
Not like that.
Yeah. So
that's one of my things. Like, because I know what it, I know what it is. I know what, like, you know what I mean? Because see me actually as well. Yeah, I'm a simple man. That's what's so mad about it. I don't want what everyone else wants, you know. Like, I swear down, if someone comes to me, like, if I walked out here today, bust the corner, man said to me, listen, I got a pattern for you. You could go to a desert island, everything's patterned, just rare, like, you don't ever have to come. I'll be gone. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But it's just that to live in here, it's hard to not look left and right at, so-and-so's got this and and I'm living, do you know what I'm trying to say? I wish we didn't worry about these things. I wish I was never introduced to know.
You know, one of the things you mentioned when you went to church, I think in West Norwood, and certain things were happening, and you felt away. I wanted to say at that time, that's fitrah. That's your natural disposition making you feel, you know, something uneasy because something ain't right. Yeah. And the same thing when you're saying simplicity, that's the way Allah wants us to be.
Exactly.
Simple thing, because like you said in your reminder, it's about what? The hope is there, bro. Jannah is there. You know, few things, Akhira, finish off on that, inshallah. One is in terms of, you know, now, alhamdulillah, you know, what, 16 years Muslim, 17 years?
What's that? No, 20.
20, yeah?
20.
Allah.
Yeah, 20. No. Yeah. No, I'm lying. What am I talking about? 15.
15 years, yeah. Any, from 15 years now, siblings, parents, uncles, aunts, cousins, Muslims?
You know what? I gave dawah to a few people, but it's never really been the family. But I gave friends of mine. Friends of mine took a shahada. You know what I mean?
And how is family with Islam now? How's your mum?
Yeah, my mum's cool. Like, she had to just get with it. Like, she's cool. But you know what it is? My family just tiptoe around it. Like, they don't really know. So they don't really ask.
Mum cooks halal food when you go there, though, yeah?
Yeah, she's been on that, though. But they do that naturally anyway. But they just, like, they'll be, don't touch that. That's the, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, they'll make sure they, you feel me? So, yeah, they're cool. Yeah. Like, I could present it more, but they just see me as a grown version of me. So, like, how I've always been, like, you get me? Obviously, I'm not bringing police and whatnot to the door. That's what my mum care about. Don't know police come round to her. I'm not in jail. She's just happy, you know what I mean? So I could show dawah through my actions more. Or like Ramadan, I'll go and stay with her through the month.
Mashallah.
And I'll cook from how I learned in the prison. You know? So I make sure I cook for her for the month. And that just makes, like like when Ramadan's coming, she'll phone like my family, like, yeah, Ramadan's coming, he's gonna cook for them. Like, I'll hear her like gassing about it. She don't know I can hear though. I'm thinking, how you know I'm coming around to cook, but she know, innit?
What did you do? Recite some Quran, Akhi? Anything you want to recite?
What's I gonna do? I'll just do Al-Fatiha. This is the separation, like I said. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Ameen.
Ameen. Jazakallah khair.
And these are what verses you learned in prison?
No, I think we learned.
How did you go about your memorization? Because remember in Islam, there's Quran verses you memorize to read in your salah?
I don't know. I think I was reading I just used to read it and all like
the Arabic, or did someone teach you the Arabic?
No, I don't know how to read the Arabic.
The transliteration.
Yeah, I'll need the transliteration in words, but then when I've seen the Arabic writing, I know what certain things so I just know like I know that's, you know what I mean? Like, I just know. Like, but I can't read like that. But that's what I mean. Like,
cool.
I wasted time on that because it just seemed like a harder task than what it really is. You know what I mean?
So looking forward now, what is like, obviously you've done a decent amount of time in prison.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's another whole topic we can go into, the effects that it has on your brain and, PTSD that some people talk about. But in a positive sense, what is your projection, say, for the next 5 years, 10 years, whether in the music industry, whether whatever?
Obviously, prison gave me reflection. That's one thing you don't get when you're on the roads living that life. You don't ever stop and actually, what's going on in my life? You know what I mean? So prison gave me that reflection, you know what I mean? And then that's all I do. So now, it's like so to me, Allah blessed me with the I don't know what to call it. It's like a third eye. So it's like I just take my time now and breathe. Like, so where I'm going, I just know what to do not to steer off the track. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I can't, where I want to be and where I think I'm going to go might not where I'll be, but I know the right steps to not end up in no mess. That's my main thing. As long freedom to me is top of the list. Once I'm free, I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care where I'm at. As long as I'm free, like free.
You appreciate the freedom that you have.
Yeah, I appreciate my freedom. So as long as I'm free, like for example, like I said, you never know when you're gonna go, innit? And that's why I said Islam's like my safety net. So if I don't turn to Allah now properly, I just know, inshallah, given the time, you never know, obviously, that's why you gotta get right. But I just know one day, if when I wanna throw the towel, that's I wanna say it's plan B. Because you get what I'm trying to say though? It's like, one day I just wanna be done with it all, man. Like, 10 years time, yeah, I just wanna be done. And I just hopefully, I'm in a position where, whatever position I'm in, I'm gonna be married and on deen basically and just raising kids.
Live the simple life.
I was going to say, after his reminder, he wants to take my job, actually. He wants to take my job there.
I just want to be, I swear that, I just want to, I've seen so much, I've studied, I've seen, you know, especially with this music stuff, like, I've seen, like, or I've been two people or one person away from the top of this thing. Like, and I get it, it's lit, it's crazy, but it's like, at the end of the day, you get what I mean? Like, you get people calling themselves God and things, it's like, bro, you're God because what? Like, you're a superstar in music.
It's the ego's reached such a
peak.
peak.
You off your stage, you're done. Do you get what I'm trying to say, bruv? Like, that's it. But obviously, Allah's the plan of all planners, you know?
No,
you know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is. But yeah, 10 years time, that's the word. I'm just going to leave it like that. 10 years time, I need to be in some simplicity. Inshallah.
And then lastly, what we usually do is ask, like, obviously the age you are today and the wisdom you've gained today, what is the advice you would give your younger self, whether to go to a different path, to follow the same path?
Younger self, seek knowledge, man. Seek knowledge. Because once you seek knowledge and you understand certain things, you won't be blinded by things that don't mean nothing. You won't be blinded by clothes. And like, if I knew how unimportant having the latest night trainers at when you're 15 was, how unimportant that is, like, that's not gonna mean nothing. Yeah, I wouldn't chase them for them, right? I wouldn't do things. So seek knowledge and just, if I could tell anyone young, get on something now, nerd up now, just be a nerd. You know what I'm
The things
saying?
we used to kind of laugh at now, you're saying that was the thing to
that
be,
was the
really.
thing to be. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, don't waste time, you know, pansing, like, you get what I'm trying to say? With everything else, like, faffing around.
100%, because the older you get, the more difficult it gets.
Yeah. And not even in terms of, you could do anything at any age, but just to be at a certain age, and, I got to do this. Knowing you could have done it when nothing was going on.
And this is why the Prophet ﷺ said, use 5 before 5. And one of them is your youth before your old age.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know, your time before you become busy.
That's a fact.
Your health before
That's
you
a
become
fact.
sick. Your life before you die.
That's exactly what I mean. That's it. That's exactly what I told my younger self. That 5 before 5. In depth. That'd be a good thing. That's what people need to know from early. Because you just won't waste time.
100%.
I promise you. Like, you just wouldn't. If you knew what wasting time would get you, you just know. I'm just gonna study, fam. Like, or I'm gonna open a business, or I'm gonna whatever. I'm just gonna do this, and I just won't have to do that. Like, I won't have to put my life at risk.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Yeah, that's powerful, man. Jazakumullah khair. I think we can talk for hours, bro.
Nah, we could.
And there's so many things we didn't even catch up on, but inshallah, maybe another time, a couple of months.
Of course. Give it a couple of months, we'll be back.
No, 100%, bro. I appreciate that. Jazakumullah khair for coming. Thanks for everyone watching, and inshallah, we'll see you on the next one. Wassalamu alaikum.